So I don't know about you, but this Wickerbottom refresh update is totally being overshadowed by the additional Wortox, Walter, Winona, and word changes and synergies, am I right? Not only that, how can it be that a week has gone by since its initial release and Wickerbottom isn't really the one being tweaked? Now don't get me wrong. Both Hotfix number 1 and Hotfix number 2 here do list some adjustments to our Granny Librarian, however they are far and few between. Quite small too. Now time will tell if we're just crazy, thinking that Clay is going to be toying with their rework to the point of reworking their rework, if you know what I mean. But for now, it's really just a Wortox update, I guess. Still, before we get to our soul hopping dude, we best mention and work through some of them Wickerbottom stuff, as it is supposed to be her time to shine. Now her Aper cultural notes here is going to be one that's not going to be as easy to use and abuse anymore. While the loyal grumbles will still work all the same as before, there is now a limit to just how many we can have out at one time. But one book's worth of Grumblebees is all we will have to work with now, so be prepared to be calling in some reinforcements more often than not. And one book equals 9 bees, in case you've forgotten. Now, many of those boss fights we showcased a few days ago are still going to be possible for sure, especially since we can no longer accidentally attack our own Grumblebees at the end of the day. Therefore, involving ourselves in these fights is going to be a lot easier. However, less numbers in the initial hordes means bringing more and more backup books, if you know what I mean, as you'll kind of have to keep reading them over and over and over again to make up for your lack of numbers. But it's not all bad, folks. Not when both the horticulture novels are back to growing both lichen and figs in an instant. It's a small change, sure, that's really only here because things got done broken for a while, and the use of applied silviculture on the new palm cone trees is kind of the same vein. And this one's also quite simple. We can now grow these moon key trees to their full stages instantly with one of a silviculture's 5 reeds in total. So make notes. And some of the other teensy tiny changes now at play, you ask? Well, Wickerbottom is no longer going to be able to impact the moon cycle from the caves when reading a lunar grimoire, so there's some taming of the book's insane potential, I suppose. Even though Wickerbottom clearly states that she would never allow Maxwell's Codex Umbra into her library, we can now store both the Codex Umbra and a cookbook within her bookcase, as you can see. And obviously, while neither one will be needing a recharge, as they don't bloody have to recharge, this does bring up the question of why Wickfrids cannot put their battle songs in these bookcases. But finally, that somewhat out-of-place fiery pen weapon that only Wickerbottoms can conjure up for some reason now works properly and won't actually charge up beyond 100% durability or boost itself the stupid amount of uses individually. But seriously, what exactly is this thing supposed to be? Why was it added? And why does one book spawn one very specific item that is essentially just a character-exclusive fire staff? I don't know, but speaking of character-exclusive mechanics, it is time to talk all them new Wortox tweaks that are kind of tweaks of already new Wortox tweaks. As we saw initially, our imp friend can now soul hop from the map, and while that hasn't changed, there are some overall adjustments. There is now a soul indicator on the map, although it doesn't exactly correspond with our cursors, as another change made it to where said indicators will kind of be locked in circles around our current position to kind of help show ranges. And the actual range itself has also seen its soul efficiently nerfed a bit by 10%. But it doesn't really seem to matter for super duper leaps, as it seems like jumps that would certainly cost over 20 souls still only cost 20 bloody souls. In short, Wortox can go anywhere he has already been at the cost of a little more souls, but can literally still go anywhere at the cost of all of them whenever he wants. Oh, and this does remind me. While the new mechanic of soul hopping for free quickly following the initial hop is also still in play, the second hops will not only now be called soul echoes, but they will also have a new sound effect just to help us better indicate what our next potential action will be and is, if you know what I mean. Small tweaks, but they add up for sure. But a much bigger soul change would be their healing capabilities, especially when dropping them to heal the the group. Now, I'm not entirely sure on the complete breakdown here. However, it appears as if souls now heal for roughly 2 points less than they would otherwise, and this will obviously scale up the more players we're trying to heal at one time. Again, the exacts do escape me as things stand now, if I'm honest, but I do know this. Souls will also now ignore fully healed survivors while in this calculation, so the distribution of said healing got both a nerf and a buff at the end of the day. It might just even out though, but if someone out there has the mats, I think we'd appreciate a heads up. But for now, let us truly end the day with another gimmicky tweak to cave holes, everyone. The initial update made it easier for us to teleport or soul hop into them, but this new update made it to where the cave holes won't exactly take kindly to us overstaying our welcome, I guess. I really don't know why this is a thing, as mobs can still absolutely hit us while we're here, and it's not like anyone but Wanda will really be able to cheese anything while atop one of these things, but sure, why not? And there you have it, everyone. The first major set of updates to the update for Don't Starve Together's new Wickerbottom refresh. As said before, it wasn't much, but it did all add up to a pretty decent showcase here, so I hope it helped you get up to speed. I imagine we'll be right back for another one soon enough. And here's hoping we actually see more of a creative side of this Wickerbottom refresh, as I don't mind a librarian getting 11 new books to play with, especially when said books are incredibly versatile, but Wickerbottom now has no downside, and it's not like Maxwell can no longer fulfill her one and only purpose himself, if you know what I mean. But thanks for watching, folks. Well wishes to all, don't forget the bug fixes, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!